Hello there and welcome back to JPP, Japan's Perfect Pens. My name is Richard and today's video is going to be a little bit different. I've had quite a few requests for this video, so today I shall be talking about how to maintain an Namiki Emperor or size 50, showing you with my Emperor Goldfish and with my size 50 black Urishi. So I'm going to talk about how to fill it, how to clean it, how I wipe it down after handling, and what the instruction leaflet that comes with the pens says about treating Urishi and Maki-e. So to begin with, we'll start with the cleaning. So here is the size 50 Namiki black Urishi pen, which is a superb pen. It comes in black and it comes in vermilion, and they come with this little box, and in this is the eyedropper. Now, as you'll see shortly, the capacity of these pens is enormous and they take several eyedroppers full of ink. So I'm going to show you this. So this pen I've actually been using. It has the Namiki black ink that comes with the pen in it at the moment, and it's just about empty. So what I'll do is I shall show you how to fill it up by just filling it up. I'm just going to use water to fill it up just to demonstrate, and then I'll clean it. So first of all, I'll unscrew it. Okay, so unscrew here. Okay, so because this pen is nearly empty, I don't have to hold it completely vertically. Nothing's going to spill out immediately. So there's still quite a lot of black ink left in the section there, and there's some black ink left in the barrel. Now, before immediately cleaning it, I just want to show you how you would fill it, because this pen is virtually empty. So you take eyedropper pen, use whatever ink you like, and it just vanishes into this enormous barrel. Now, one thing that's quite hard to see from the video is when it's full. So what you have to do is you have to watch it, and eventually you'll see the line of ink come nearly level with the part that blocks the valve. So I'll try and show you here now. Normally it takes 3 or so complete eyedropper fulls before it gets there, and then eventually you'll just see the ink start to come up. And in this particular instance, it's going to take my word on it because it's not so easy to see on the camera. But look, I've put in 3 complete eyedroppers and there was already a little bit of ink in the pen. So this is a huge capacity pen, and you can just see it there, okay? So this is more or less perfect. So I'm going to act as if I was now going to write with this, as if I'd put more ink in. So I would put the section back in, just screwing it in. Nice and firmly there, okay, and then what I would do is unscrew this valve at the back, and that now allows the ink to get past the valve into the section and fill up the feed. So if I was inking it for the first time, I would leave it open for a while and the ink would fill the feed, it would be ready for writing, but I'm not. I'm now cleaning the pen out, so I'll unscrew this again. And I'll also just take a moment to show you how the valve actually works. So I'll put the section down there. So this is a full barrel, and you can see that as I unscrew the valve here, it retreats down the barrel, and that leaves a gap between the barrel and the section, which allows the ink to enter the section. So when it's screwed up, ink can't get into the section, and the pen just relies on the ink that's in the section in the feed when this is screwed tight like this. So that's why when you want to use the pen, you have to unscrew it. Okay, I am now going to empty the pen of the combined water and small amount of ink, just like that. And then cleaning it is a simple matter of running it under the tap with cool water. I wouldn't use very hot water, and just rinsing it like this. Now almost immediately you can see that the water coming out doesn't have a lot of ink in it, so it's quickly being quite effective, but I would always do it quite a few more times than I think I need to, just because I'm quite careful about making sure things are clean, and especially because if the next colour of ink I want to use in it is much lighter, then and mixing it with black ink, I want to make sure that the barrel is completely clean. So there we go, there's nothing particularly special about this, we just keep on doing it like this. Okay. Now I'm going to pour out the water here because I want to, in a second, show you just how much ink is in this. So if we'd filled this up to capacity, this is how much ink. And that's a lot of ink. So if I put like just 3 of those in, and already you've got a lot of water in that glass. So yeah, look at this. This goes on for a long time. This is why when you write with these pens, if you're not writing for many hours a day, just one filling of ink lasts for such a long time. And I always say to people using it to be careful that you pick an ink that you like, because you're going to be using that ink for a long time unless you want to throw out the ink and replace it. Okay, so now here's where most of the ink is. This is going to be much dirtier. When we put this under the water, ink's going to go everywhere, and there you go. So because this size 50 lib is so large, there is a lot of ink in that feed and in the section. And let's get this going. So this again is a simple matter of rinsing it until the ink is out. But as I was saying, if the valve is shut off and the ink can't get through to the section and the feed here, there's still an awful lot of ink in here, so you can actually write for quite a long time before it dries out. It doesn't dry out immediately upon closing the valve. It takes a long time. So look, I'm just doing what you do with any other pen here. I'm just giving it a good rinse. And it's quite quickly cleaning itself. Okay, so if we return it to the section, we now have a cleaned wet pen. Now, before I dry it, I'll just show you a little bit more. So I'll screw it back on. And if I'd just been filling this up with ink, I would now unscrew here to allow the ink to move through to the section, through past the valve there, and to the end of the pen. And obviously closing it back up blocks off that valve again. Now I do want to mention one of the things that doesn't get much attention on using these pens. So on the back of the feed here, you can probably just about see there's tiny bubbles that have appeared. And what happens is when you have the pen inked and the cap on, you get condensation forming within the pen overnight or in the daytime, depending on changes in temperature. And depending on the environment you're in, that can cause the back of the feed to have little bubbles between the plastic and the urushi. Now this is common on inked Namiki pens, and you never see it on pens that haven't been inked. Now for me this happens a little bit. I live in a very humid country. It happens different amounts for different people. All of the Namikis that are inked, the Emperors in this country that I've seen, have the bubbles. Now in Japan, any sort of imperfections that are caused by use and natural wear aren't viewed as a bad thing at all. So I think that's why the Miki view on it is that this isn't a problem, this is just what happens when you use a pen. But I just wanted to flag it because to other people you might be a bit surprised to find that the pen doesn't look completely perfect on the back of the feed after using it for a while. So what I want to do next is talk on what Namiki say you should do. So how to clean, handle and care for lacquered products. So lacquer luster, which is the shininess. Lacquer is susceptible to ultraviolet UV rays found in sunlight and fluorescent light and loses its luster if exposed to them over time, and the original condition may not be fully recoverable if the damage is severe. If the pen is not used regularly, it should be emptied, cleaned by flushing with cool water as we've just done, stored in a wooden case. Avoid storage in excessively dry locations, that one's important. The luster will be lost more quickly in dry environments, so it's recommended to keep lacquered products in moist environments, such as inside the wooden box it comes with. So general care, occasionally wipe the pen gently with a soft dry cloth. For more stubborn marks, wipe gently with a damp cloth, dry immediately. And then a note on Raiden and Rankaku, which is mother of pearl and eggshell respectively. Mother of pearl, inlay and eggshell can be harmed by exposure to acid. Please avoid contact with acid, which I think is a good rule in general for your pen. Should the pen become stained with ink, sweat, etc., wipe immediately with a damp cloth. So that's a fairly basic description. So I'll tell you now what I do with my Maki-e pens. So I keep the pens usually in either a silk case here or in a pen kimono. Now, handy I have this pen kimono, which is actually from a platinum Izumo, but just about fits the Emperor. But anyway, a soft pen kimono made for handling pens, and then I'll put them in a wooden box for longer storage. So the important thing is you should unscrew the cap before unscrewing the valve. I've been told quite a few times by different people the best practice is take the cap off before unscrewing the valve, or else what you'll do is by unscrewing the valve you will create a strong negative pressure in the front of the pen. So it's just better to avoid doing that. So just remember, take off the cap, unscrew, at the end screw it back up, and then put on the cap that way. Okay, so after having used the pen, this is very simple. As the instructions said, we just give it a wipe down with a soft cloth. Now this cloth happens to be a Namiki cloth, but any glasses cloth style will do. And all I do is I take off the grease, the fingerprints, anything that's come off from my hand. You don't need to rub it too hard, it's just a soft cloth. And as the instructions said, if you need to, you could use a damp cloth as well. So what I do is I will do it in order so that when I put the pen in the case there are no fingerprints on it. So as you can see the whole pen now, and then I'll just put it in like this so I don't touch it. So this is just the way I maintain it because I'm going to be touching it so many hundreds of times. I use this pen every single day, and it's the way I make sure that it's clean, it goes in every time, and I don't leave large amounts of grease on it for prolonged periods of time. But urushi is used as kitchenware in Japan, so this is hard stuff. So don't be afraid of using your pen. Now, let's talk a little bit on the types of work you can have in the Maki-e. So here is some radon. Now, when they put down the strip of radon, they'll put some clear urushi on top, and here's some more radon on the torium on there, which is absolutely gorgeous. We'll review that in time. And that means that there's some protective urushi over the top. So there's a little bit of clear urushi over the top of the radon. And the same with the rankaku here, which is the crushed quail's eggshell here seen on the owl. Again, that's reasonably well protected. You've got the clear urushi over the top of it, and here on the rabbits in Moonlight Emperor as well. And then you can also have the chinken pens, which again, that has the chinken, which are cut out pieces from the urushi, inlaid with the gold powder, and then urushi over the top. So all of these have got urushi over the top. I think the pure Maki-e work has a little bit less urushi, so that's the one you've got to be slightly more careful with. So just watch out for UV light, watch out for ultra dry humidities, wipe it down after you finish using it, don't use any strong chemicals on it, and that's all. They should last for many, many, many years, and have lasted for many, many, many years. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you find it useful. Quite a few people have requested this video, so there you go. And if you do like this content, then please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep producing more content. And thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.